Genesis, Trespass, right now on States and Kingdoms. Welcome back. Today we are continuing our series of Genesis albums, although not sequentially. We've jumped around quite a bit and done other things, but we are coming back to talk about Genesis today on their second album, Trespass.
When I listened to this, I was very surprised because it's strange to have an album as good as this overlooked in any way. When it is the second record, you could even say to the sort of spiritual debut of one of the most successful, awesome bands.
Yeah. This album
ever
is surprising. It is surprising in the best of ways. Mm. It surprised me with how good it is, how Genesis-y it is.
You're always looking for traces of what was to come.
Right.
On this album, it is there.
Oh, it's totally there.
But unlike some of those debut albums or sophomore records or whatever, this is a fantastic piece of music on its own. Mm-hmm. And it's even tempting, in a way, to think of this as a separate band a little bit.
Well, there's reasons.
I mean,
for that to make sense.
Just in that, it's kind of, I was speculating like what would have happened if Anthony Phillips had loved being up on stage, or John Mayhew hadn't, left, or been left. What would have happened? And I was thinking about that related to Nursery Crime. One thing I think is certain of that, it would have been different. I think it still would have been really good.
There's a few reasons why we think that this is a great record.
Right.
And
it's
why?
Good.
It's good.
It's really good.
It's great. And it's a record.
Yeah.
One of those things is Peter Gabriel and his singing and his leadership with the vocal and the lyrics and his narrative presence.
Peter Gabriel is one of the things that is most enjoyable about this record and inspiring. You listen to this, and of course, you know how young they were. And you try to kind of push that aside a little bit.
Just 12 years old.
Yeah. Peter Gabriel already sounds incredibly confident. There are traces of Roger Chapman, but still, I mean, he's like fully formed. His style, everything that you just feel him pushing, directing, the songs, and it's something that really sets Genesis apart in a way. I mean, the song follows the vocals in a similar way in a rock and roll context to like opera. Mm-hmm. Where the story, the music is serving the story, or the music is behind the singer for emphasis, for emotional emphasis, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So you get that already here, like on a couple of moments, just on Looking for Someone, you hear that.
Yeah.
You hear it a number of times.
Yeah, throughout. He's so good, and he seems to be carrying the full emotional weight of the songs, like throughout the album. I mean, like so much of it is led by him, and one of the most apparent takeaways for me listening to this, like really listening to it in depth, was just like how good Peter Gabriel sounds.
Yeah.
And it's just, he's fully formed. He's all there doing his thing, and he would just keep getting better and better. But it's here.
Because we are Phil Collins defenders.
They know.
Yeah, I know. We've talked about this all the time.
They know. Like,
but I mean, I'm
big on Phil.
When you listen to this album, I mean, I think you really appreciate just how, great talent. I mean, not great, but I mean, how talented and driven Peter Gabriel was to do something, to do certain things in the music, and to push Genesis forward into certain areas, which you hear, on something like The Knife, but you certainly get, tons of it on Nursery Crime and, Foxtrot and
because that theatricality
until he leaves,
and sense for drama and like the heaviness of the subjects, and it's really stunning. So that's one thing. And it's on
every song. I love how he sings Visions of Angels, which is, an older song, and it does to me seem like, well, it seems like because there are songs on this that I feel Genesis kind of built upon. They're like embryonic future Genesis in a way. I really feel Looking for Someone, Stagnation, The Knife, and maybe White Mountain are definitely those, whereas, I know that's only leaving 2 songs out, but I mean, whereas Visions of Angels and Dusk are a little bit more late 60s sounding, folk.
Yeah. They have that love birdsy
Although
kind of thing.
I wouldn't say Visions of Angels sounds folky. I'm just saying it sounds
More
more
of
late
its time.
60s.
Yeah.
And I love how he sings it, though. I love how he approaches it.
It's a beautiful song.
It's great. I mean, every 6 songs, and they're all very good and perfectly like formed for each other.
Yeah, they're balanced. The structure of each song is done so well.
But I'm just saying, his vocal performance enhances everything on this album.
And especially so those songs that you feel, and I agree, look toward, all the things that they're going to do forevermore. Like have that real Genesis sound already. There's certain things like the songs are they're never boring. They're never repetitive. Right. They don't do the same thing over and over again. The songs, are really dynamic. They keep moving, and there's just a lot going on that always keeps it interesting and engaging, and
they don't want to repeat themselves, and so they're just pushing, creatively pushing for like what the next thing. You feel that on this already. And
like stagnation, there's a lot of kind of somewhat drawn out moments and quieter moments, but there's always something building. There's always layers. There's always like a momentum forward.
It flows perfectly. All of them do, in my opinion, the way the songs build. And Stagnation, the final part of the song that starts with the flute, I just love. I think it's great.
Intense,
And
it's
it
exciting.
really, it ends with a kind of symphonic flair that's not really there for the rest of the song. The song is very kind of acoustic guitar, and it feels rather folky. Also, Stagnation at Dusk being very, acoustic, 12-string guitarish, and back to back, but the songs are so different. It really, I mean, somehow even that
it really works.
I don't know how it doesn't even begin to be overkill. Not even close. Actually, I love that those 2 songs are back to back.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy with the song sequence on this puppy.
Yeah. No matter what, this is really unique. There is something, and we know what it is basically because I'm continuing. There is something so interesting in how they approach the songs. There's no virtuosity here as well. There's incredible playing, but there are no real soloists.
Yeah, there's no like star.
Everything is just moving forward. Everything there. The band is marshaling forth their song, their story, and with Peter Gabriel leading. That's how it feels, and it's really kind of amazing. I don't get tired of this album.
No, and like you said, like it's such a group effort, and I think that's always the feeling I get from Genesis, like throughout their whole career. It's just when it was with Peter Gabriel, when it was with Phil, when exclusively, like whatever, you get the sense that they're working as a total unit.
Yeah.
And there are hardly any, like no one like you said, there's no solo, there's no part where like, oh, this guy gets to do his thing, like, oh, then this guy. It's like,
because
it's always
all very capable.
They're all such amazing musicians and crazy talented, and they work as one, and it's just perfection. It's always so good.
Everything in its place, everything doing its part,
nothing unnecessary.
All together. There really is. You can hear that.
You were saying how even the flute is so perfectly integrated.
Yeah, I don't always love flute.
Yeah.
I mean, I make an allowance for Jethro Tull, but
do you though?
No, but I mean, I do because I know
it's
like there.
It doesn't do much, because you could just go like do the same thing.
Well, you look like that when you do it. The main thing about the flute on this album is that it's not an afterthought. I mean, it really is an integral part of the songs. Like on Stagnation, it begins the melody that carries the song through to the end. You know, there are a number of parts on the whole album where the flute is important.
Yeah.
And sounds great.
Right.
Which is I think it's a real achievement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I
Because
think
where else
that's
are you
fantastic.
like, I need that flute. Turn the flute up.
Well, only one instance, only one band that I can think of, really. I wanted to talk about The Knife, just at the end. Just The Knife is stunningly awesome song.
It is. It's a truly awesome song.
I think I feel like you could never get tired of listening to it. It's so dynamic. I said this, I think, about Return of the Giant Hogweed as well, because that's a really quite
It's heavy
song. And we say this about a number of these bands.
It's real heavy.
There's a little bit maybe too much focus on the cerebral nature of prog rock, and bands like Emerson, Lake and Palmer are incredibly aggressive, and I mean, it's sometimes yes too. It's fast,
physical, and visceral.
The Knife is certainly in that category. I mean, it's just such an exciting song.
Yeah.
Certain parts of it are really are like get the adrenaline pumping.
Mm-hmm. It's so exciting.
Yeah,
it's exciting.
And yeah, I mean I know that was a popular song, live and all that, but it should still be better known. That's such a incredible song. Every bit of it. Every bit, everyone on that song is, I mean, it's an awesome
brilliant
performance.
It is. It's just, it never ceases to be exciting. You're always waiting for what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
It's just.
I mean, I wait for a number of the parts in that,
and then it ends with like a beautiful kind of climax of heaviosity.
It's a perfectly formed song.
Mm-hmm.
It really. It continues to, you feel like it's probably, this is the climax of the song, but then it's not really. Then this is, they just hold your interest and just keep that song going. It's wonderfully
it's a beautiful
dramatic
way to end the album.
And
only 6 songs, but everything is perfection. There's no low moments. There's kind of places to rest. But
it is strangely peaceful.
Yeah, there's no weak songs, but it has like a real sense of stillness and drama, and like the peaks are where they need to be, and it's
hard to explain, but there is. It's such a dynamic album. There is this tranquility there on certain tracks, but it's still exciting, and there's still
tension in the quiet.
There are sort of crescendos and exciting moments, and yet it holds that tranquility through at least till The Knife, where it kind of just slices it in two. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Quite an achievement. Well done, boys. Well
I mean,
done,
I could understand if you like this better than Nursery Crime.
It's good.
I mean, it's really good. I mean, I know that's maybe anathema to some people, but this is a very good
really
album. Good. I think if someone hasn't, maybe they listen to it once, or put it on and listen to it again. I think there's a lot on here to just enjoy, just really to enjoy.
A really good album.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching our brief discussion of Trespass. Make sure to let us know what you think of this album in the comments below, and please like and subscribe, and stay tuned here at States and Kingdoms for more videos every Wednesday and Friday. We will see you next time.